Hello, this is Garrett Sharp with the Striding Group, and this is a demonstration of SAP's BPC 10.0 on Microsoft Excel 2007. Okay, and today I'm going to walk you guys through the Options tab in the Report Editor. Okay, so first thing, just getting started, as you notice, when you first click on the Options tab, everything is grayed out and unclickable, and this is due to this top left box being clicked. So if you go ahead and unclick Inherit Sheet Options, we can now customize this page to our liking. Alrighty, so starting in this top left box, totals placement, this refers to the location of your parent members in your report. So note that it's defaultly set at bottom and right, and we will see how this is reflected. So as you can see, the parent revenue account, the total, is located at the very bottom, and the 2012 total is located at the far right. But say we want to switch it to the opposite, say top and left, we can see how it's reflected in the report. Alrighty, so the 2012 total goes to the left, and the revenue is right here at the top as well. Okay. And now for row header indentation, this is exactly how it sounds like. It's usually set on indent children. We can see what that looks like here. As you can see, the children are indented and the parent is not. But let's say we wanted to switch it to indent parents. We can see the opposite right there. And then similarly, if we want to just do no indentation, we just go ahead and click that box. But let's just put it back to default. Alrighty. So moving on to the report format box. In later lessons, we're going to go over what dynamic formatting is, but for now on, you just need to know if you want to apply it, it's going to be located in this Options tab, and you want to make sure this box is checked. And also with that, you want to note this other box, and that's if you want to clear the formatting, if there is any formatting on the report previous to applying the dynamic formatting. Okay. And then as for the data options over here on the right, starting at the top, uses the input form. You may also not know what an input form is at this time, but we will go over it in later lessons. But for now, you just want to know that if you want to turn the report into an input form and send or save data, you will want to click that box. Okay, and as for freeze data refresh, the majority of users won't use this feature, but say if you wanted to just make changes to your report without having refresh each and every time, you just go ahead and click that box. Alright, and as for set default values and empty cells, so if you wanted this box checked, what it would do is it would reflect 0 values for every empty cell. Alright, so now we can see what it looks like with this box unchecked. And as you can see, all empty cells. But if we go ahead and check it, you can see the zeros appear. Alrighty, and then this fourth box is also very similar, and so whenever there's no member found at a certain intersection, it will display this message. Typically, users don't want to adjust this unless they want to say change the message, but you usually always want this box checked. Okay, so now for the refresh options, starting at this top box here, keep formula on data. It's not usually recommended to insert your own formulas into the reports, but you can do so. So to see that, let's go ahead and check this box. Switch this back over. Alrighty. Make it look nice. Okay. So for example, say you want to just put this parent revenue into a formula by making it sum of all the children account. And there you go, get the same number. Alright, so since we have that box checked, once we hit refresh, there you go, the formula is still on there. However, you run into an issue when you manually insert these formulas when, say, you want to expand on a certain account. So there we go, it expands, but this formula still includes everything inside it, so therefore it's double counting and it will get you an inaccurate result. One way to get around this though, however, is if you go over to Edit Report, Options, go ahead and uncheck that box, but if we check this next box, Calculate Parents and Hierarchies, this way it refreshes your formula dynamically, so as you can see, it sums up all the children accounts without going into that next level and double counting it. That way this just gives you a lot more accurate number, as well as it updates dynamically when you make changes to the report. Alright, so that's a very cool feature to know about. Alright, and as for these next two boxes, pretty much all you need to know is that checking the top one is same as checking both, and this is most similar to 7.5 or other previous BPC setups. However, different reports that have connections to more than one model may need some more intricate setups. This can be a challenge when moving reports between development and production environments. However, if you want a report that is open in one model but pulls data from another model, you may want to store a connection. Unfortunately, there's not an easy way to explain the pluses and minuses of possible combinations, so you may have to experiment a bit with these when you're moving templates around. Alright, and as for this box over here, the repeat row and column headers. So say this setting is only applicable whenever you have two or more dimensions in a axis. So to display this, okay, and now for repeat row and column headers. The only way these boxes matter is if you have two or more dimensions in each axis. Okay, so now to display this, we will add another dimension to say row axis, and we'll do it for actual and budget. Okay, so as you can see now, that each header is repeating, but let's say we want to uncheck repeat row headers. You will now see that it's only listed once. And this is pretty much just used to help kind of clean up your report, and it can also be applied to column headers as well. One thing to note out when checking the repeat row or column headers is that it only applies to the outermost dimensions, so in this case, account. Alright, so as for display dimension names, just note that the box is checked now, and we can see that by it showing account and category and time. However, if we uncheck this box, you'll see those now disappear. Alrighty. Okay, and as for this bottom right section, as in suppressing 0 or no data values, 99% of the time users will want to remove empty and 0 values. Let's note that you can see the 0 values are still in the equation underneath the budget dimension or category, I apologize. But let's say we'll go to rows and remove empty and 0 values. Since all those budget accounts were 0 values, they are now removed from the report. So this is also another way to help kind of clean up your report and get the values that you really want to look at. Alright, and last but not least, for query options, this isn't really something a normal user would use, and it's actually only available on the Microsoft version, but it's essentially running a query directly at base level against the table. Most users wouldn't need this or just be fine running a report at base level. Alrighty, so this is everything on the Options tab, and next up we're going to be moving on to the Sorting tab.